haven't eaten anything all day. I'm waiting for this oatmeal to like cool down. I guess it takes longer to cool down if it's in a mug. I don't know. Guys, it's a set here. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below so that way this channel can grow, and also give this video a big ol' thumbs up. Today's video is going to be a story time slash rant video, I guess you can say, about my trip to New York. So not when I was actually in New York, because that's none of your business, but no, I'm just kidding. But I'm actually just talking about the airlines that I flew with and how it was to get there. So yeah, here's just my story. Let's get started. So I plan to go on this trip about 2 months out in advance, and yes, I don't want to, like, I'm not a college student like at the moment, but I'm like college student age. I don't have like a corporate job anymore because I don't want one. So, you know, like, I have to just be very strategic with my money is what I'm saying. So yes, I did choose a cheaper airlines, and that airlines is, drumroll please, Frontier Airlines. I feel like my camera is, there we go. Frontier Airlines, that's who I chose to fly with. And in the beginning, it sounded too good to be true. I got a round trip ticket from Texas to New York for $158. Yes, that's right, kids, $158. I did eventually pay for my check-in when I realized later that I could have just had it as a carry-on instead of checking it in. But for both ways, it was $80. So it was $40 going there, $40 back. So what's 158 plus 80? Let me get this for y'all. $238 overall round trip flight from the bottom of the country to the top. I think $238 is really good. In my opinion, it was something that I was personally able to afford and still feel like I would have a good amount of money to spend in New York. So I bought the ticket and I was super excited. The first thing I bought was my ticket. The second thing I bought was my hotel. And then after that, I was just saving up money to like get my hair done, nails done, stuff like that. Have money to like go to the trip. Anyways, so fast forward, time comes for me to go on my trip. Woo! I get dropped off at my local airport, and the first thing I noticed is that at my airport, there wasn't a like kiosk thing where you can check in. I guess I'm really spoiled with that, like with Southwest, Delta, United, like at my airlines. I've also flown out of like a Houston airport. I've flown out of LAX before. I'm kind of used to those kiosks where you can kind of like check yourself in or whatever, print out your boarding pass. I am very antisocial sometimes, so sometimes I just would rather deal with a kiosk. But anyways, they didn't have that. There's no problem with that. I just wanted to point that out in my airport. So anyways, I go up there, I weigh my thing, and I'm super glad that my weight was good because they would charge you more, obviously, if you were over, and I heard that that was really expensive with this airline. So I'm glad that my stuff was under the amount of time, or I'm sorry, what? I looked at my SD card, so I see I have enough time. I'm sorry. My luggage was under the amount that it needed to be. We were good to go. So I also get my boarding pass, and I'm so glad that they printed it out for me because I totally forgot to print it out myself, and I'm usually that person. But also when I fly with like Southwest or any other airlines, they also would email me my boarding pass, so I would have it on my phone as a backup, and Frontier does not do that. So anyways, I get inside of like the airport. I'm through TSA, which actually was pretty hectic that day. This is the first time I've been through TSA and they didn't check my weave, so I was actually kind of feeling myself. And the TSA lady was like, "I love your outfit," and I was like, thanks, because my traveling outfit was cute. Like, boo, it was cute. Like, I looked good, you know, like, because I wanted to hop off the plane looking good. Okay, so anyways, so I get through TSA, I go in the back. Did I get something to eat right away? No, I didn't. I did not get anything to eat. I did have, like, I brought my tumbler cup and I filled it up with water. That's all I wanted. I was good to go. So I board the plane. I think we were only about maybe like 20 minutes late. And that's pretty good for flying, in my opinion. Like, that's fine. So we get up in the air and I had a layover, or yeah, like a stop. So my first layover was from Texas to Cincinnati, Ohio. So I have my layover there. I get to the Cincinnati, Ohio airport. First off, I guess the more north you go, well, I don't know, like, it was just filled, what am I trying to say? That I didn't see any type of diversity there. So, you know, like in Texas, there's, you know, there's Hispanics, black people, white people. We're like a little melting pot. Cincinnati, Ohio, I felt like I was the only black person there. It was really weird. So this only comes into play because in Ohio, I believe my stop was supposed to be like an hour. So right when I got off the plane, there was like a pizza place there. And I was like, yes. It was kind of like Mod Pizza, if you know what that is, or kind of like a Subway for pizza, basically, where you can build your own pizza. So I got myself a little margarita pizza. I set up my little phone and I was watching Glee, and I thought it was so cute because Glee is like based in Ohio, and I was watching it in Ohio. And then like the season I was on, Rachel goes to New York and I was going to New York. So like I really just thought that my life and the universe were like good to go. So I'm just sitting there watching my episode of Glee or whatever. Then I get up, I go over to where I'm supposed to board, and I just see like, it felt like 1,000, but no, I just see hundreds of people just sitting there. Everyone looks annoyed. So I'm like, why is everyone annoyed? I'm that person where I don't care if I board last on a plane. Like, I don't like waiting. So I took my time because I thought I was just going to show them my sit down and then be good to go. No. We learn that we are delayed for New York. And what was the annoying thing about this whole trip with Frontier was their lack of communication and their lack of positioning. So if anyone from Frontier watches that, please train your employees on positioning. I used to work at Apple. That is the first thing they train us on. Also, they need to learn about empathy as well. Those are the 3 pillars that if anyone showed any of those, just a smidge of empathy, positioning, and communication, then I would have felt better about my trip. I felt like my life was in the hands of complete incompetent imbeciles. So anyways, the lady over the intercom, she kept dinging in. Hey guys, so we don't have any word yet about what's going on with New York. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Ding. Hey guys, so like, we're just waiting for the person in the tower to tell us what to do, so we don't know anything. It's not our fault. Ding. All right guys, so I'm tired of coming on the intercom. So they told us that they will have an update for another hour, so we're just gonna sit here for an hour. And then everyone was like, And I felt like her commentary was very annoying. Don't speak unless you have something worthwhile to say. You don't need to come on the intercom just to say, hey, I'm gonna piss y'all off some more because y'all have to wait some more. Like, that just sounds dumb. Don't say anything. Just say, hey guys, I won't be coming back in touch with y'all until we figure this out, but trust me, we have your best interest at heart. Like, say something like that. Like, there was no type of professionalism at all. So we end up waiting the hour. She comes back on the intercom saying, hey guys, the hour's up, just to let you know we're still not ready to board. Okay, so I was supposed to board my plane at 7:30 p.m. I was supposed to be in New York by 10 p.m. But you know, like the time change, so whatever. It wasn't supposed to be that long. So we didn't end up boarding the plane for New York until 10:30 p.m. Ohio time. Cincinnati, Ohio. So we board the plane And they tell us, don't worry guys, it's only an hour and 30-minute flight, and once we have you up in the air, the pilot can speed up the time, we can get you guys there, blah, blah, blah. And so everyone's like, okay, yes, like, shit, I didn't know you could speed, but y'all gonna be speeding in the lane. Like, okay, get us there. So we board the plane, we lift off, we're in the air. I sleep or close my eyes, and when I open my eyes, I hear these annoying ass people in the intercom again. Hey guys, just so y'all know, we're not able to land, like we're right over New York, but we're not able to land right now, so we'll come back and tell y'all what's up. Everyone's like freaking out, like what do you mean? Like, why aren't we able to land? Like, you can't say something like that with people in the plane. Like, all of us on the plane were like, okay, is it a plane problem? Like, are y'all not able to land because something's wrong with the equipment? Is it New York's problem? Is there something wrong with, like, is there like a shooting or something going on at the airport? Because like, this is where my mind was going, because this is America nowadays and shit, stuff is happening. So I feel like, don't come unless you're gonna give us everything. Just so you guys know, so you guys aren't like anxiety ridden while listening. What was happening was that there was a thunderstorm in New York where we were supposed to be touching down, and there was also lightning. So they didn't want us to have to, I guess, like, fly through that. I'll talk about that a little bit later. So they didn't tell us that that was what was happening. So everyone on the plane, we were all talking amongst ourselves, and people were saying these things that I'm saying. I'm not making them up. They're like, is something wrong with the plane? Like, why can't we go to the airport? Is something going on to the airport? We can't check the news because we're up in the air. You're not allowed to have, like there's no Wi-Fi and shit. So, you know, we were freaking out. And I feel like the flight attendants and the pilots weren't professional in telling us, like, if you just said, hey guys, there's bad weather, we can't descend for your safety, like, oh, okay, breath of fresh air, it's not in your hands. But they weren't giving us any type of clarity. So we end up, like, if you looked outside of the plane, for an hour, we were flying in circles, and there were other planes. Like, all of us planes were flying in circles because they were telling us that we could wait out to descend. But eventually, the pilot comes in the intercom. Ding! Hey guys, I would just like to let y'all know that we are going to be in Washington, D.C. in the next 10 minutes because that's where we are going to be landing until this situation is over with, and until LGA, or is that where it was? LaGuardia. Until LaGuardia lets us know that we're allowed to descend. So I would just like to let you know, like y'all, I'm talking to y'all. I would like to let y'all know that to get from New York to DC is about an hour and 20-minute flight. So the fact that you told us 10 minutes before we're about to land means that your dusty ass was already flying to fucking, like, I'm sorry. You were already flying to DC and you didn't let us know. Like, I feel like that's a form of kidnapping. Like, what the fuck? So we end up landing in DC. They tell us, don't move, don't move, don't move. We're going to fly back to New York tonight. We're going to get y'all to LaGuardia tonight. Don't worry, we're just going to wait out the thunderstorm. But everyone's like, we're not stupid. So everyone's looking outside of the plane. Like, literally the people I was sitting with in my row, I think they were husband and wife. They were looking outside the plane, and this lady's husband was like, they're taking our luggage from the bottom. And his wife is like, huh? And so we all look over. They're taking our luggage out from the plane. So he was like, the flight's canceled. Like, why would they be taking our luggage from here if they're supposed to fly us back, right? So 20 minutes after everyone's looking at the people taking our shit from the plane, ding! Hey guys, just so you know, your flight has been canceled. Your new flight is going to be for tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. Thanks. Bye. No type of explanation, no type of empathy, no type of apology, none of that. So all of us are pissed. People are calling up family. People are arranging to rent a car. People are arranging to buy new plane tickets because everyone's pissed off with them, right? Me, I had a good amount of money going to New York, but I didn't want to have to spend that good amount of money on having to buy a new plane ticket, because I looked up for Delta, who was leaving at 6 a.m. instead of me leaving at 1:30 p.m. And for like, you know, that was the same day flight because by the time we got to DC, it was about 1 in the morning. And I was supposed to be in New York at 10. It was 1 in the morning when we were in DC. And to book a plane ticket for 5 hours in the future, it was about $480. And that's not the type of money that I wanted to part with. So yeah, I looked up hotel prices. I called my brother and I called a friend, and they were like, don't spend your money. Like, this has happened to me before. Just sleep in the airport. Cool. I understand that this is completely normal, that people sleep in airports all the time, that, you know, flights get delayed all the time. That's not something that I feel like I should have to get used to. Like, I don't, you know. And I felt bad because there was this one girl who she was meeting her family in New York, and she was only 17. So she wasn't able to rent a hotel. She wasn't able to get an Uber, anything like that. And she was telling the pilots, like, she was like, I don't know where to go. And they were like, sorry. They didn't give us any type of voucher or anything. So, yeah, so basically, what is that? My layover was about like 11 hours. I spent most of it avoiding this one guy that kept following me around the airport. He kept like talking to himself, and I was like, well, a homeless person can't be in here because like to get to this section, don't you have to pass like TSA? So I felt like I was a little safe, but like I was on the phone with my brother at one point, and he kept trying to say something to me, and I was like, I'm on the phone. So then I like got my luggage, and I remember I went to this bank area because I had about $500 on me cash, and I didn't feel comfortable having that on me, like if I were to fall asleep in the airport. So I wanted to see if I can find a bank to deposit my money into, but the bank, like the ATM was only cash out. I couldn't deposit. So like I was like at the bank thing, and I kept seeing him like inching around to look at me, and I'm like, so I had to walk to a different area. I think I went over to where Delta was because there was more people over there. So I ended up sitting over there so I could avoid this person. And I stayed up for probably like 9 hours. I stayed up until like 10 a.m. Then I remember I fell asleep, and I woke up by God's grace at 12. So I had to recheck my bag, re-go through TSA, do all of that. And I made it in time because guess what? The flight was delayed again. So I had enough time to get there. We were delayed again, and this time the little scanner for the boarding pass was down, so they had to manually look everyone up. So it took about maybe 2 minutes per person to board the plane because they couldn't just scan the boarding pass. So I didn't even get up to stand in like the zone. I just like sat into the end, and then I walked up there because like I said, like, why am I going to stand in line to wait when I see that y'all are taking forever? So anyways, instead of getting to New York on like, I think a Friday or a Thursday, I was supposed to get there, like, let's just say, because I can't remember, I don't feel like looking. Let's say I was supposed to get there Thursday at 10 p.m. That's enough time. I still could have showered, went out to eat, went out to party. I didn't get to New York until Friday at 3. So I spent a whole 24 hours traveling. And to me, I think that is pathetic because with that 24 hours, I could have been in fucking Europe. I could have been overseas. I could have been somewhere else where it actually takes that long to get there. Also, what really grinded my gears is that I can understand if this really was a weather problem, but when I looked up incoming flights on the LaGuardia airport page, I was able to see that the flights that left out from Cincinnati at 7:30, which was when my fucking, sorry, I need to stop, but when my plane was scheduled to set out, all of the planes that left around that time, they were able to land on time in LaGuardia before the weather issues started. So that's what really made me upset, is because I knew it was all avoidable if the airline I was with was more professional and on top of their game. They could have got us to where we needed to be before the weather stuff happened. So to me, I just feel like they were playing around. Like, why are you playing around? So the whole situation really pissed me off, but I forgot about it, you know, made sure I enjoyed my trip. On the way back, same type of thing happened. I didn't have a layover for 11 hours. I just had maybe like a 2-hour layover when it shouldn't have taken me that long to get back home. So to me, I had to board with them 4 different times. You know, Texas, Cincinnati, Cincinnati, New York. New York, Cincinnati, Cincinnati, Texas. I had to board with them 4 different times. Each single time they disappointed me. Ich time they showed lack of professionalism, lack of empathy, lack of time management. So I know that I don't want to say I will never fly with them again just because their prices are really cheap, but I just will know that I most likely will get to my destination either an hour or 24 hours past the time that I'm scheduled to get there. So if I'm only going to have like a weekend trip, only have like, you know, a weekend trip, a couple of days, I probably wouldn't book with them because by the time I get there, I'd probably only have a couple of hours and then have to board the plane again. Just being real. Maybe if I have a trip where I have like a week and a half, I might do them because I know eventually I'll get there and I still have time to enjoy my trip. So yeah. That's the situation. Also, something else that annoyed me is I was talking to other people that said that they were delayed, and they said if you're going to be delayed for a certain amount of time, usually the airline will give you some type of voucher for either a hotel, a voucher for food at the airport, something like that. They did not do that. Also, their customer service on their website, they do not have or at least I couldn't find a way to talk to someone, a representative. They kept referring me back to the website. The website crashed on me while I was loading in my information to, you know, complain about. And then, you know, I was eventually able to send that information out. No, they're not going to give me any type of compensation. I don't really expect it at this point, but I did want it in their system that, you know, just for them to be aware that they had a paying customer that was upset. Something else. Oh, okay, so when we finally got to board from freaking DC to go to New York, right? Half the plane, like when we were on our way to New York the first time, the whole plane was packed. When after that shit that they did, I kid you not, like barely anyone was on the plane. And I wish I had my money like that to where I would have been able to have some other options too. And also, after that whole situation, they come on the intercom again. Ding! Alright guys, so we have some open aisle seats. So if you would like to switch your seat to get an open aisle seat with more leg room, just let one of the flight attendants know, and that's going to be a $50 purchase. And I kid you not, everyone on the plane was like, what the fuck? Like, you just messed up big time. You're not trying to show any type of compassion, and now you're trying to sell seats when I should be able to move around because there's no one on the plane. Like, and you're oh my gosh. So yeah, that was my experience with Frontier Airlines. Comment down below if you've had some type of Frontier stuff too. I know, oh, also something else. I know that there was a famous YouTuber. I think he was famous because a kid stopped him and asked him for a picture, and then I saw him vlogging and stuff. So it would be really cool if I could find his YouTube page. Like, I know he was blonde, very tall. He looked like he could be like a basketball player or something. But anyways, yeah, so that's my story. Sorry if I'm not good at story times. I've been talking for over 23 minutes. 23, gang, favorite number. Anyways, yeah, I've been talking for a long time, so this is going to be fun editing. I hope I was entertaining at any point in this video. And if you've stayed this long and you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below so that way this channel can grow. And also make sure you give this video a big old thumbs up to show your support to, you know, me being a priss and having to deal with that stuff, because I'm not used to the word no. So yeah. Anyways, if you would like to hear any more story times from me, let me know. I have some up my sleeve. I have one story time about when the side chick contacted me that I think I want to throw out there. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.